We're creating a one-person business, recurring revenue. We're doing this in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. We're having fun and we're doing it by ourselves. But before, my friend, before we start talking about recurring revenue and continuity income, we're going to take it back for a second because we got to start at the beginning and build this the right way. And as always, I am Ryan, your humble guide, building businesses since the late 90s. And I do this all in one take, no edits, just me here to teach and to serve. So, before we create recurring revenue, let's just look at where recurring revenue or continuity income fits in your whole like one person mini empire. This is our GTB flywheel, which stands for grow, type, bank, which means your traffic, your email, which is the sales, and your bank, your monetization is how we're going to make money. Recurring revenue is going to fall into that third part of it, right? This is the bank, this is the monetization, this is how we're generating income. But where do we even begin? And this is the interesting question I get because now that I'm doing more on YouTube, I'm committing to it. I'm getting a lot of questions coming in from people starting kind of at the beginning, especially my fellow entrepreneurs, 50s and up. Like, Ryan, I've been an accountant for 30 years. What do I even do? What do I build? How do I create it? And yeah, we can start. And I've done videos about this, starting with your market or even starting with what type of business you want to do. But as we start getting a little bit more clarity, one thing we have to start to think of is, where does this fit in terms of our brand? That's right. Look at this. Baby got brand, yo. We are building brands. But what type of brand? Because there are a few different types you can build. Now, I'm not talking about hiring some Madison Avenue graphic designer and brand builder and spending $50,000, because there are options to do that. It's not always even the best. But I'm talking about the how is it going to even function? Meaning, do you want to be the face, like the expert? Do you want to be behind the scenes? So here's example. Here's option number one, right? This is the face. This is, you are standing up and saying, it's me. It's a personal brand. It's my name, my face. It's all being built around me, the person. Obviously, there are benefits, right? Because there is only one you. You Now, obviously, other people might have the same name, like my dad's name, and it truly is. My dad's name is Bruce Lee. There's another famous Bruce Lee, but there really is only one you, right? There's one Ryan Lee, there's one Gabby, there's one person. So it's easier to kind of just get started, right? Because you're just being you. The cons, and this is something to think about for some people. Some people don't care. Is there an exit plan? Do you eventually want to sell this? If you want to sell your business down the road and it's your personal name and your brand, that's tough to sell, right? It's tough to sell this Ryan Lee YouTube channel without me. So I don't recommend, well, look, everyone is different. And I have a lot of my friends here in New Canaan, they're private equity guys and investment bankers, and they invest in businesses and they do it to get huge multiples. So they don't care about a personal brand and building, buying into personal brands. They want to have a big exit. But for most of us, kind of looking as a second act, what do I want to do for the next 20, 30 years? And you're not thinking about a big 7 or 8 figure exit. You're just like, I just want to build some recurring revenue, some income, a couple thousand a month, maybe, or 10,000, 20, whatever your goals are. And you're not thinking about the exit, and that's okay. Don't feel as if you need to have an exit. Don't feel as you need to sell the business, because maybe this is just your lifestyle business and you run it for the next 20, 30 years. And when you're gone, you're gone. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to sell your company in order to be successful. So I just want to take that pressure off of you. If you want to, great. And that's your thing, go for it. And if you don't, that's great too. So and I want to show you examples because, again, I teach in the real world. I like showing you examples of things that I've built because I'm not teaching from theory. This is my personal brand. And years and years ago, when I was first starting, I was starting to kind of develop my personal brand. I was focused on my fellow strength and conditioning professionals. and phys ed teachers and helping them. And my brand has kind of shifted and I put it away for like a decade. And now it's coming back in this new iteration. And that's the important thing to think about when you're building a business or a brand. And this is really important, that you're not stuck forever. You can change, you can shift, you can pivot. When I started, I was in my late 20s helping strength and conditioning professionals. Now I'm in my 50s. I have 4 kids who are all starting to like get out of the house and I'm helping my fellow 50 plus solopreneurs. So I've shifted. The world moves on. No one's sitting around saying, "Oh my God, what's Ryan doing today? What's Ryan Lee? What did he say yesterday?" Like, no one cares. Get over yourself. You can shift, you can pivot, and there's lots of ways to do it. And I've done some videos about that. I'm going to talk more about that as well. But just know, if you pick a lane and something you want to talk about, you don't have to stay there forever. You don't. Okay, so that's one type. Then there is the company brand, right? A brand that's not built around your name. Your name people might know you own it, or maybe not. I had 2 successful nutrition companies, Prograde and Omega K, that I started, that no one knew I was even behind it. And that was totally fine. My most recent one, Rewind, as the company grew, I kind of removed my name from it a little bit more. And I was able to sell it about 2 years ago because it wasn't just my name. It wasn't my face. In fact, towards the end, it wasn't at all. It was about the business, the brand. So, is that something you want to build? Do you want to be 100% behind the scenes where no one even knows your name and face? That can work too, right? Different type of business, different type of marketing, but it still can work. You just have to know what you want to build. And then there's this third kind of interesting space, what I call the hybrid, which is, so this is a longtime client and friend, Jeff Cavalier. When we first started, he didn't have a site yet. And the thing he's built, it's a brand called Athlete X, but this should almost be called Powered By, because it's not really hybrid. It is, but it's not. It's more like Athlete X powered by Jeff. It's the brand, but he is a very prominent voice and role. It's still his name and his personality, but the company isn't called Jeff Cavalier. It's not the Jeff Cavalier Show. It's not Jeff Cavalier Supplements. It's Everything's Athlete X. If you take away Jeff, it is going to be hard to grow, but it's still a sellable business. It's absolutely sellable company because there's millions of people on the list and it's a very successful company. So there is an exit. So I do like these powered by. Another longtime friend and client, John Lee Dumas, started with a podcast, and his podcast, it's called Entrepreneurs on Fire, but it's powered by him. His personality and his name and his face is very prevalent in the programs, in the products, in the podcast, the Fire Nation he created. It's all kind of under him, but it's still called Entrepreneurs on Fire, and the membership is Fire Nation. So you can kind of have your cake and eat it too. And this was one that I did about 15, 20 years ago called Workout Pass, where it was a membership site featuring all these different workouts, but my name and face was still very visible. I was behind the scenes. I was creating workouts. I was in the video. So I was a part of this, but still a sellable business. Not quite as sellable as something where your name isn't attached to it, but still a sellable company. So what I want you to think about is making the decision right now. You don't even have to decide what it's going to be, but start thinking about how you want this to all fit together, right? And by the way, if you're interested in more, just type in the word 1K below. Just type in 1K. I'm working on a new report, 1K per day. Just type it. You'll be happy. But, and also obviously like and subscribe so you could see my handsome face over and over again. But you have to start deciding now, do you want to make your name and face, the visible thing? Do you want to be the expert? Do you want to be completely behind the scenes where no one even knows you own the business or company? Or do you want to have more of a hybrid, a powered by, where there's a business, there's a name, there's a brand, and yet you're still visible as well. So you're still active in the marketing, you're doing videos. So for example, if I were to launch a new membership, which might be, what would be like it could be a third party name. Right now, it's all under the Ryan Lee umbrella. This is the membership, this is the continuity. So I have my personal brand leading to these programs, but I could easily call this another product or program that I send people to, right? You see this a lot. You see names and faces and personal brands building a relationship and then having a product to to recommend, right? You think of like Kim Kardashian, and she has her Skims. She didn't call it Kim's underwear, whatever it is, right? She has a third party, she has a company name. So, so many possibilities. There's no right or wrong. It's only right or wrong for you. So don't I, the big takeaway here, besides you obviously writing the word flywheel below, and that's what I should have said before, not 1K, but I'm not editing. Who cares? Type in flywheel and you'll get my flywheel that I showed you before. The big takeaway for today is don't feel pressure to do a model one way or another. Don't if someone says, "Oh, the only you should never start a company you can't sell." I don't agree, right? If they say, "Don't never do a personal brand because you can't sell it," maybe you don't wanna sell it, and you don't have to. It's like, "Well, it's not a real business if it's not sellable." That's their problem. You could build whatever type of business you want. It's your rules, especially now with digital lifestyle businesses you could run from anywhere, especially as we're getting a little bit older. You don't I just want you to feel good about what you're building and say, okay, I am the face and the expert, or I'm not, or I'm the face, but I have this kind of brand I'm powering. Choose the thing that feels good to you and then go for it. And type in, just type in flywheel below and then like and subscribe. Show me you want more of this stuff. If not, it doesn't matter because I'm going to see you on the next video. Baby got brand. See ya.